by the government agencies and only 20% by private industry, and academia just 6%, academic institutions of higher learning. And in OECD countries, if you compare, government only 10%, private sector 69%, universities 18%, and not-profit organization 3%. In China itself, if you want to compare with China, 70% by private sector, 30% by government sector and academia. In Japan and Korea, which are front runners in the R&D, their 75% R&D expenditure is by private sector. In USA, 65% R&D expenditure by private sector. If you see these figures, they are telling, we need not have to discuss on that. What kind of approach and thought process, initiations we people are taking, we are lagging far, far behind. And therefore, this kind of initiation and discussions are very important, panel discussion, which are very important for policymakers to make decisions from universities to GOs to NGOs to private sector, what they're doing. What they're doing, what they're contributing. They have gained the profit from being in India. They have earned a lot, they have expanded well, and they are not spending on that. So we have to think over on this, that how private sectors and even the government sector and as well as the university sector contributes their funds and focus on R&D. If we do not do that, there is no future for India to become a major part of knowledge world society. Now, coming to the world share of research, a lot of people say, there are so many people doing researches and this mushroom growth of research and all that. If you see the actual figures, where we stand globally, world share of researchers, in USA, 23% researchers of the world are from USA. In China, 14%. In Japan, 11%. The whole of Asia, 41%, 41.4 to be exact. And our India's share is 2.2%. Where are we? Our population is 17.5% of the world, and our share in the researchers is 2.2. If you see the researchers per million, Japan, per million I am saying, Japan is the highest in the world, 6,548. That of USA, 4,654. France, 3,443. Germany, 3,442. China, 1,071. Egypt, 654. And that of our great nation, 136. Where are we, my friends? We have to we have to understand the ground reality and then decide our future and plan our future. We have to make revolutionary reforms in the approaches and policies and undertakings in terms of R&D. What our 9,072 universities are contributing. Where are they? Where is their money? They are investing in physical infrastructure, but they are not investing much into R&D. Why? This is a big question of mine. And it hurts me as an academician, honest academician. I am also part of the whole system. I am also responsible, I say, but sometimes, somewhere we have to realize and change our mindset. If you see the Nobel laureates, USA 270, UK 101, Germany 76, France 49, Sweden 30, Netherlands 15, Italy 14, Switzerland 22, India only 4. India's score in the scientific publication, share in the scientific publication. India 2002, 18,911. 2010, 36,261. China 2002, 38,206. And 2010, 1,44,464. And world share of India is just 3.7% of the international publication. Where are we, my friends? China is having almost 11% share in the international publication. Therefore, I personally feel we have to be interested, we should be focused on revolutionary steps, very aggressive steps in terms of patents, in terms of doing commercial research, in terms of creating new economic structure, and we are failing miserably. Those who are interested in research, we do not support them. That is the reality. There is no research culture as such in our university. Even the management of the universities, even the big bosses of the universities, and even the government and private sector, they do not invest into research capacities. And therefore, in Stanford University, I will quote that example and I will stop my initial message of myself, opinion of myself, that in Stanford University, they have created 8,000 industries by their alumni. They have their own bank to provide seed capital. Where are we? This is my big question. Therefore, if India want to become a knowledge economy, for knowledge economy, creation of knowledge is important. For creation of knowledge, valuable knowledge, quality research is important. R&D infrastructure is important. And creating R&D culture is very important. If that culture is missing and we are not initiating and if we are not aggressive, I don't think we can make our mark on a global map of R&D. And I have personal opinion that the private sector in India has miserably failed, as well as the higher education institutions in India have also miserably failed in this mission. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Dr. Patwardhan, you are on mute.
Please unmute.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Thank you, Mr. Professor Gawhane, for the laying down the statistics, and I couldn't agree more with you in terms of the efforts that need to be taken. However, I would like to rephrase the question which I had initially asked and take it to Ms. Roopam Jha, because the question was, what measures need to be taken by private universities in order to enhance the R&D capabilities and procuring the funds of government and private sector. Because if it is seen from the IIT Delhi's profile, it is noticed that close to $19 billion worth of startups have happened through the IIT Delhi Startup Incubation Center. About 800 odd startups have been incubated. So what would be your thoughts, Ms. Jha, on promoting the private, what measures should be taken by the private universities to get these funds from government and industry affiliates? Over to you, please.
Okay, first of all, I would like to thank everyone and especially IMC Chamber of Commerce and Industry for having me here. It's really a pleasure speaking and interacting with you all and such an esteemed guests and panelists over here. I will like to just add here, like I have recently joined close to 2 years now in the Corporate Relations Department of IIT Delhi. So as Professor was just now saying that there is a gap in industry academia, so which I think we all know and we all have been struggling to fix that. If I tell you the example of IIT Delhi, we have one department like R&D, like all the institutes have. Then we have one department which is corporate relations, which I represent right now. This department was established in the year 2016, and the main aim of this was to capitalize on the already strong relationship that IIT Delhi enjoys with the industry and to further strengthening it by facilitating the larger industry academia collaborations. So what we do over here is what Sir was saying right now. There is a gap and we need to fix that gap and we need to bridge that gap. So that's what we do. We are right now working with close to 100 companies and 200 plus faculty members are with us who are faculties, who are full-time researchers, and then we have PhD students. As far as the startup culture at IIT Delhi is concerned, also it is well thought of. Actually, it is nothing new that startup suddenly happened at IIT. So if you see, I'll tell you, there is a Foundation for Innovation and Technology Transfer, which is FITT. So basically all our incubation activities and everything is handled by FITT. And what they do is basically they are the front face of IIT. So it's close to 20-25 years that they are in functional. So we have one technology business incubator program which was founded in the year 2000 to promote partnerships with new technology entrepreneurs and startup companies. Currently, as we speak, TBIU has more than 100 companies incubated. 20 plus companies are currently residing. Then we have another segment which is Biotechnology Business Incubation Facility. This was founded in the year 2014 for incubation support to biotech startups, which enables access to specialized equipment and also provide experimental facilities, IP guidance, market linkages, and so on. And currently 10 plus companies are incubated here. So if we talk about the startup culture at IIT Delhi, it's like our director rightly says that every room in the IIT, there is some or the other budding startup is there. So that culture is there, and largely, if I say so, it is from top to bottom. So all the faculties are mentoring some or the other startups. Then we have largely the startups by BTech students over here, and it's a very it's well supported by all the faculties, and they are nurtured well. So that, I guess, is one of the reasons why our startup is a growth story right now, because they have been given the right infrastructure at the beginning. They have been mentored well by the faculties. Like we at Corporate Relations, we are doing recently, our campaign is fundraising for the top 20 startups. So what we do is we have identified 20 startups from automobile, industrial automation, AI, ML, blockchain, and then we are reaching out to companies to generate funding for those companies, startups that are here. Similarly, during COVID-19, in fact, the ongoing pandemic that we have, there were many startups which came out with a very brilliant ideas, like infection-proof fabric. Similarly, we had N-Safe, which is similarly masks and all. So the culture over here is very inspiring for the startups to start working from the day one they get inside. So I guess that is one of the reasons why we have a very good startup culture over here.
So thank you, Ms. Roopam. What I would like to take this same question and the mindset of the faculty members as well as the higher authorities in a university, a nationally important university like JNU. If I could have the opinion of Dr. Geetanjali Batra here, because they do not have. She's a part of a cell which is called the entrepreneurship cell at JNU. So what lessons would she like to share on the startup culture and R&D in terms of government institutes and universities partnering from a non-technical perspective? Because you do not have an engineering and technology college per se as a part of JNU. So if we could have some thoughts from you, Dr. Batra.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, all the panelists, attendees. Thank you so much for inviting me. Am I audible and visible?
You are audible, but you're not visible, Dr. Batra.
Okay. I think now, yes. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for inviting me to such an esteemed platform to the session that I've attended till now. It's very informative. It's great to hear from panelists and people from different institutions. Yes, something is going.
I believe there's probably some bandwidth issue at your end. So, yeah, please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Yes, we need to spend more on research, whether at academic institution level or at research institutions level. Yes, and research has to be more industry oriented so that we get fruitful data. I want to use this platform to highlight one basic issue that comes to my mind again and again about qualitative research. We are primarily an educational institution. We have students who pursue their MBA, and obviously they take up PhD, and earlier MPhil was also there in the system. Now we have PhD. And yes, but the focus of students and the emphasis as such, it's automatically going off. The video is, I don't know. The focus of students is the more on learning analysis, more on learning statistical tools, and it is important, but we are not emphasizing the importance of qualitative research as much as it should be emphasized. Because see, quantitative research has its own limitations. We have a data set and we analyze and we interpret the numbers. But qualitative research, like most of the research that we do and the topics are from the Western world. Earlier researches, our research methodology is adapted. Our review of literature is more based on the Western world. Our analysis techniques. Then, when we analyze the data, we comprehend our results. So then also we compare our results with the existing studies, and which are primarily from a different culture and a different setup. So as a developing economy, we have different challenges, different issues, and for this, of course, quantitative research is important. We need to collect data. Data need not be numbers. You know, the researchers, the research institutions, they when they talk about data, they just talk about quantitative data. People, when data means numbers, okay. So numbers like even when we have a questionnaire-based data, we again quantify it. You know, excellent and good, and we assign them numbers 1 to 5. Normally it is Likert scale and 5-point scale. Some people use 7-point scale. That is different. But again, even when we collect subjective data, we assign numbers to it. So somehow there is a need for more research, but there is a need for more qualitative research, not just quantitative research. We are focusing our energies on collecting numbers. Even qualitative data is data that we don't understand. I mean, that somehow less of the people accept it. As you know, professors also, the acceptance for qualitative data is less. People at all levels of the hierarchy are more obsessed with numbers. But even qualitative data, you take interviews from people, you go into the field, you take their opinion, explore some unexplored issues, some new issues which have not been researched till now. And this type of analysis, this type of this has to be encouraged among the budding entrepreneurs, budding researchers. Only then they would be able to find some new opportunities in the market. And there are several unexplored areas which have not been researched till now, in which earlier research does not exist, and there is a need for research in those areas. There is a need, and we have so many such issues. We are a developing economy. We have several such issues which are less researched or probably not at all researched.
Sure.
And so qualitative research, and then again there is a way out. Like probably can have quantitative and qualitative. There's an idea of triangulation in research, where we combine. We collect quantitative data, but we also encourage students to supplement it with some qualitative information. Do not just interpret the numbers. While interpreting the numbers, go to the people, have some informal opinion of the people from whom you have collected data, and take their informal opinion. And while interpreting the results and writing your analysis section and analyzing and comprehending the results, please support it with your qualitative opinion of the respondents.
So talking about the difference between the Western culture and the Indian culture, as you very rightly spoke, I did a little bit of research on your background, and it is seen that you have several publications related to organizational behavior, right? So would you like to share some thoughts on the difference in behavioral traits between successful researchers in the Western world versus Indian world? And then we will take that question to Professor Gawhane, because as being the Vice Chancellor, of course, he will be able to, certainly speak about research happening at his university, as well as Ms. Roopam Jha.
I think there is the research methods, the research techniques, the analysis, the basic softwares we are all using them. I really, but I read some very good papers on qualitative research. And they were very well written and well interpreted. And that is where I could not find much of qualitative analysis papers in the Indian context. Several European contexts I read, and I did my PhD in sustainability reporting, and there were several conceptual papers, no, not conceptual, qualitative analysis papers, obviously which have less of numbers. We are more obsessed with numbers, no numbers, and just numbers means the basic respondent analysis, demographic analysis. And they interpreted the data using software. You have NVivo, you have several other softwares which help you analyze qualitative data. And of course, qualitative analysis is also subjective. You don't get the range, and if your limits are, if your observations are going beyond this range, it is good, and it is the null hypothesis has to be accepted or rejected. So it has a different way of analysis. But we have softwares that help us in analyzing the qualitative data, and some very good papers I came through when I was doing my research, and they were qualitative analysis based papers, and qualitative research is less.
Okay, so let me go over to Professor Gawhane from here. Professor Gawhane, at the Jawaharlal Nehru Engineering College under your university, there's an Innovation Incubation Research Center, which I looked up online. And the audience here would certainly like to know your thoughts on the R&D activities in that center, and how are they aligned with academics at the MGM University, because that would give us a very good idea about how what steps are being taken by the people at the incubation center in line with along with the academicians of MGM University to further their research efforts. Over to you, please. You are on mute, Professor Gawhane. You are on mute.
Yeah. So, am I audible now?
Yes, very much.
My friend, thank you very much for asking for the initiatives in MGM University here. This Mahatma Gandhi Mission Charitable Trust has established this university, and Jawaharlal Nehru Engineering College of ours is one of the pioneering private engineering colleges in Maharashtra, along with the MIT. So our founder is Kamal Kishore Kadam, who is a MTech from IIT Mumbai, and he is now 75. His brother, engineer Ankushar Kadam, he is also 75 plus, and they are engineers and doctors. They have created this infrastructure. I personally feel that when we became university, we initiated to have incubation center in place in multidisciplinary approach of engineering faculties. All the faculties of engineering should come together, work together, design together, come out with a commercializable product, and support the industry in Aurangabad, in and around Aurangabad, for doing such work. Now we are being identified by the AICTE and other government agencies to support this center, because we our own invested into this. So instead of asking for resources, we feel that we initially should invest into that. And now we are collaborating with 2-3 universities from Russia, from Africa continent, and from Europe, and they are very much interested in collaborative incubation processes taking together, so that intellectual minds come out with the differentiating ideas, disruptive ideas, and develop the products into that. So there is a concept of makers places. You must be knowing that makers movement is on. So we also have a workshop, makers places, where we do create, recycle the old, machinery and the instrument, and we build. We have developed a lot of good things out of that. And for example, community washing machine we have developed. Okay, recycled product, and it is a cycle run. No power is required. So you just cycle it and attach that drum to the cycle, do the washing. Exercise will be done. We can put that at the hostels. The student will have their exercise, wash their clothes, dry their clothes, and detach that drum and move in the city with the cycle, eco-friendly vehicle. So that kind of small initiatives we have taken. In the pottery also, we have tried to develop a water bottle of soil, red soil, and that water bottle is being used by our teachers. Solar table lamps. We are with the IIT Mumbai, in collaboration with IIT Mumbai, we are trying to DI. Again, the solar lights, decorative lights for Diwali and other festivals and malls. We are into that, and now we have initiated that, and I think next Diwali, by next festival of year, our teachers and students from electronics department will come out with the solar based decorative lights. So small initiatives we are doing, and I personally feel these small things, make big difference. Now, if you come to the understanding of the unicorn companies having value of $1 billion. So in India, we are in globally we are having around 486 unicorn companies. Out of that, in India, we could have 14 to 16 such companies. And most importantly, I feel so happy and so proud that even during pandemic, we could have come out with the 6 such unicorn companies in India, which have reached to the $1 billion value. And let me quote them also. So I think steadily in India, we are creating a culture of startups. And a lot of startups are failing. No doubt that failing is very important. Failure is very important. We learn a lot of things out of that. But at the same time, let me share with you a few of such new companies which have come forth. Lenskart, you are knowing. Durva from Pune base has become a unicorn company. Then the Dream 11. Then the Fresh Work, the Policy Bazaar, then the Big Basket, the grocery company, Lenskart, we know that, and Oyo, we know that. The Delhi one is also there. Baiju is also there. Zomato and BillDesk is also there. It is having 3.2 billion doing business. So a lot of companies are coming up. Postman is also there. Indian startup went for almost 2 billion value. Then there is one more POS company, that is Pine Labs. It has come out with 1 billion during the pandemic, I am saying. Then as well as there is UN Academy, is a edutech company, and that has come to the value of 1.5 billion during this. And I personally feel it means that there is a lot of opportunity structure available. So we want to do experiments, and like IITs are supporting and some institutions are also supporting. We have to create that culture of incubation, and we should have a department of ideas, my friend. Patwardhan sir, you will agree with me. We should have a department of ideas. Let the student, teachers and faculty members share their ideas, design that idea, think over that idea, critically analyze that area, and create a support culture and the whole of ecosystem for promoting that. This is my view, and we are doing a small experiments on our own level, and I feel that if every university comes forth and tries and missions like this, undertake small missions, we can do a great job for our nation and creating.
Certainly. Your thoughts are very well taken, Professor Gawhane. In fact, it reminded me of the last scene in the movie Three Idiots, where they show these small inventions and innovations which the legendary inventor from Ladakh actually incorporated in the school in Leh, right? Talking about WPU, I would like to gladly mention to you that there are a host of interdisciplinary projects which are being undertaken at various levels, where schools, faculty and student members from various schools are involved in it. So we are in the process. We've also been involved in that process for quite some time now. We've won awards. But let me change direction here in terms of the thought process, where I would like to get to Ms. Roopam Jha, and then again come back to you, Professor Gawhane, because I want to talk about the next level of doing this joint research together. And that is, I'm referring to something called as a research park. I'm myself an alumni of IIT Madras, which has a very strong research park, facility right next to its campus in Chennai. And IIT Delhi, I saw online again, Ms. Roopam Jha, that 2016 it was conceptualized, and it is coming up in the Hoskas region right within campus. So what are your thoughts on the activities coming up in the research park, Ms. Roopam Jha? And then followed it up with Professor Gawhane. Is there any plans on MGM University going for a research park where it could, probably take these interdisciplinary small research inventions to the next scale? Over to you, Ms. Roopam Jha.
Okay, this one topic is really exciting because of late we have been discussing about research park because that's the future, right? And from corporate relations perspective, we are into fundraising, industry, academia collaborations, and what best can be than the research parks. So I'll quickly tell you the updates on the research park. We have 3 research parks which are coming up. One is Mini Science Park. This research park is basically the managed facility with focus on innovation and product development, where IIT Delhi faculties, entrepreneurs, government agencies can interact and enable creation of advanced technological solutions. The focus area of Mini Science Park, which will be situated in the campus only, will be electronics and communications, bio and chemical technology, engineering and design, advanced materials, instrumentation and control, and clean technology. And so companies and organizations with known accomplishments in manufacturing, R&D, product design and development, product or process engineering, product qualifications, and production support activities can apply and partner with us there. That's the Mini Science Park. Second is the Sony Perth campus, which is the 50-acre campus located in Rajiv Gandhi Educational City area of Sony Perth, Haryana. This was inaugurated in 2018, and there is close to 33,200 square meter area or built-up space area, to be precise. This particular part focuses on the research and innovation and product development. This park also has a central research facility which is being created with a built-up area of 2,000 square meters and with a sophisticated instruments including small angle X-ray scattering, transmission electron microscopes, scanning electron microscopes, and so on and so forth. There we have a DST supported Sathi also, which is again shared service, so to say. So if any company doesn't want to invest much on the equipments and all, and they want to pay certain X amount of money, and they can come to the campus and they can avail of those facilities. That is again the DST supported. Third is the Jhajjar Health Technology Campus. This, as the name suggests, is located in Jhajjar, Haryana. This is in collaboration with AIIMS and IIT Delhi. The main focus of the campus is on the medtech, drug vaccine development, transactional research platform, skill development, DGCI notified product validation centers, and so on. The approximate cost of this Jhajjar campus is 350 CR and will commence the work in the phased manner.
So Ms. Jha, sorry for interjecting, but I have a relevant question here. What incentives does IIT Delhi give to companies to invite them and to be a part of this research park? Is there any incentivization which happens from IIT Delhi's side for companies to come and be a part of this?
So they can basically the space which we are talking about. So they can come and have their own labs built up over there, and they can obviously use the faculties and the research, which is the USP of IIT Delhi. So that is there. Okay. There is a naming policy also. In fact, you want certain buildings to be named on the company's perspective. That possibility is also there.
Sounds fair. Over to you, Professor Gawhane. Any plans on taking the research further at MGM by thinking about a research park at your campus?
Yeah. I'm very happy that I'm regularly following IIT Delhi director who posts a lot of things on the LinkedIn. I'm always follow him, and in I think IIT Kanpur also the director is very active, and I follow them. I appreciate this public institution contributing a lot to creating a new research culture in India. And I really appreciate that. Please convey my congratulations to your director and the team of researchers working with you. Now coming to the MGM University. In our university, we have a concept of distributed work patterns instead of creating one path in itself, because we are having a multidisciplinary structure here. Because in MGM campus here, we are having medical college, we have nursing, naturopathy, physiotherapy. We are having agriculture unit of ours. We are having food technology, 2 agriculture colleges. They are not part of MGM University as such, but that is the ambience of MGM University, academic ambience, I will say. So with these and the engineering college and management institution, fashion design. Now what we have done till now, we are into green initiatives. For example, we recycle 8 lakh liters of water under the leadership of our Chancellor Ankushwa Kadam sir. And 8 lakh liters of water is recycled here. You know, in this Marathwada region is a water crunch area. And with that, you know, we have developed our gardens and everything. Then we have a waste management unit of ours. And all the waste, bio-waste and otherwise waste, is converted into a soil, a fertile soil, to develop the flower plants on our campus in the drums. So at the same time, we have given consultancy to the Corporation of Aurangabad to dispose the waste and garbage of Aurangabad. We are having, as we are a Mahatma Gandhian university, we are having Khadi and Paithani Research Center of ours. And it is not just research center. It has converted itself into the production center. We have created MGM Khadi brand, and we create clothes here, as well as we teach here, and as well as online we market that brand of our clothes in Khadi. So because it's a eco-friendly, cloth, and we have to promote that, and we are doing that. Even the Paithani is a traditional art of India, and we are promoting that, particularly from Paithan. So that sari is very known and appreciated all over. At the same time, we are having Bidri artwork. So that is a workshop we have done. Then we are have a pottery workshop along with us. So in agriculture, we are doing food production from milk to all kind of food products are available from agriculture university, because food technology department is there. We are having biosciences and biotechnology unit. There we do the lot of things in tissue cultures and preserving the traditional species of the plants. And we do a lot of such things which are really locally, think locally, act locally kind of thing, as well as think globally, act globally kind of thing, think locally, act globally, and as well as think globally, act globally. So we are trying to work on 360 degrees in terms of, doing small research, in terms of production, in terms of converting into a reality. One more point I would like to share with you. How we can collaborate with the government organizations. With the industry ministry is having a state level body here, Maharashtra Entrepreneurship Development Council, Maharashtra Council for Entrepreneurship Development, MCD. So we have collaborated with them. So there are 1 lakh entrepreneurs developed by that one organization of Government of India under Industry Ministry. We have, partnered with them, and now we are giving them the capacity development as well as supporting them for the entrepreneurship training, communication skills training, project preparing, because their library is also huge about the entrepreneurship. So we are using that. They're publishing one Untitled Chapter magazine also in Marathi, and it is having almost 50,000 copies distributed all over Maharashtra. So we are coming out such programs, applicable, useful program for the entrepreneurship Maharashtra, and we are encouraging them, and our university is partnering with them. That kind of small initiatives, but workable initiatives, impact making initiatives, we are taking at MGM University.
Thank you very much. It's indeed Great to know that the entrepreneurship cell as a resource is getting leveraged. You know, it is being leveraged by MGM University to come up with newer ideas and newer business models. Let me move over to Dr. Batra here, and let me ask her. JNU is quite an old university. In fact, I spent my entire schooling in Delhi, Dr. Batra. So I've been through JNU. I've seen JNU. I have friends whose parents were faculty in JNU. Can you the audience here, can you tell us about this one case which you may want to highlight where some exceptional research was undertaken by a researcher in JNU and which got national as well as international recognition, because JNU has a lot of international collaborations. I know that for sure. So over to you if you can talk about one.
JNU is on expansion mode, and we have two new schools that have come up, and Atal Bihari Vajpayee School of Management and Entrepreneurship. And myself, I'm a part of management school, and we are on expansion mode. We'll be passing out. We have the first batch, first convocation of our school will be held this year, and this is the second year of the. Last year we started MBA program, and this is the second year of our MBA program, and it is a new school, and but our students are, oh my God, it's going on. So we are into research, and we are encouraging our students because when they'll be we have a new placement cell also set up this year. We are encouraging our students for the concept of research. We are encouraging them because that is the only thing that will help them in understanding the market, understanding the psychology of the employer, employees, the customer behavior, market segmentation. All this needs to be understood, and to understand conceptual information that is being imparted to them better, they need to have some research background and research understanding. So the faculty and the students are jointly publishing some good papers, and we have a placement cell which is we have 12 students who are student representatives, and we have faculty members, and we are collaborating with the corporate and industry so that we can have more industrial visits, and we need corporate interactions so that we can have more of placements for our children. And we'll be starting, we have invited PhD admissions. This is the second year of School of Management. JNU is a very old university, of course, but we are in our second year. Our first batch will pass out this year, and we are encouraging students to pursue PhD. We have already have the tests, and the results are out, and we'll be starting the interviews for PhD admissions, and we are trying to understand. They should understand the importance of research. They are wonderful batch of students. And we are encouraging them that corporate is not just about the bottom line. You need to understand the markets, understand the people. The psychology of the people has to be understood. And for that, you don't just need some survey-based data. Behavioral research is existing behavioral research. I'm sorry, I'm repeating it, but existing behavioral research is more quantitative. And to understand the markets better, the market, the need, as you said, that you are innovating products, you are innovating new products. Professor Sudhir said that you are innovating and you are getting them copyright and developing things as per the needs of the market. So markets need to be understood better for becoming a good entrepreneur, and for understanding the market, the psychology of the customers, the psychology of what people want, and where is the scope, where is the gap. So more of qualitative research has to be done. So the faculty and the students are in the process of publishing some good papers. Placement cell is in process. PhD admissions are in process. We have already had the test. And
between a boss and a leader from an OB perspective, the bottom line actually goes for a toss. So that is a very, very important trait. Trait analysis, CB5 analysis, all these things from an OB perspective needs to be done. So wish you all the very best for that. Going over to Professor Gawhane again. You've been associated with Yashwantrao Chavan Open University as a VC, as a former VC, and now you are with MGM University. So I would, because we have Ms. Roopam Jha with IIT Delhi, which is a central government institute. I would like to ask you from an R&D perspective, what is the difference in the culture of MGM University versus Yashwantrao University when it comes to R&D perspective? Because government agencies, I know one thing for sure, look at open universities with a different lens as compared to a non-open university, if you will. So over to you.
Yeah. The corona has given the recognition to the open kind of education. ODL, we call it as open and distance learning. And that has given recognition, and now the mainstream universities are into that, and digitally driven education has become a new normal in the education system. So see, after all, the quality of education is important. Delivery medium face-to-face is the most important, no doubt that impactful, no doubt about that. But at the same time, technological initiation into that is also equally important. In a crisis period like this, United Nations Environmental Program has predicted that a lot of such zoonotic diseases coming from the animal kingdom are going to attack humanity, because of we have destroyed, attacking the biodiversity, attacking the Mother Earth. And if such situation goes on, we have to depend, will be more dependable on this kind of education, digitally driven education. The beauty of digitally driven education is you can impart, for example, teaching, research in any discipline, science and technology even. And in the Commonwealth of Learning, a lot of, medical engineering education is also, because their virtual classrooms are there, virtual laboratories are there, virtual experimentation is there, virtual research is happening. A lot of things are happening virtually. And if you just look at the TCS, they have planned that by 2025, 75% staff will be doing work digitally, being at home. So work from home. So that kind of culture is going to emerge, and world is going to convert itself into a network society, what is being called by the Google's executive president Smith, that we are going to enter into the network society where every human being on this earth, 7 billion plus people, will be connected with each other with the smartphones. Right? So that is going to happen in next decade or so. It means that is a global opportunity available for us. And therefore, I personally feel that as I have worked in a public university, as I have worked in a open university and a private university, I work with the MIT WPU also, and I have a great experience and great learning from me, educating for me, that how the public and private university coexist, co-work and co-create. They are not enemies. They are not competitors. They are collaborators. Why we aspire to collaborate with international universities all the time and not collaborating universities in the proximity of ours? Because we can solve our issues, local issues. We can share knowledge, we can share teachers, students, a lot of things we can do and solve our local problems.
Absolutely.
So therefore, that kind of approach is required for, futuristic thinking. And I personally feel that instead of, we are into corporate connect, as you are doing a great job in this area, but how to generate corporates out of our students, alumni, how to generate, instead of job seekers, job creators. And steadily, we in next 10, 20 years, we will be reaching to that position. But that kind of ecosystem is required to be created. We have to be very open. We have to be learner all the times. And as your name itself is Samarth, so we have to be competent enough to deliver the things expected by the world and people around us.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Taking a cue from your response, we have just about 5 minutes left, after which we will be opening up the floor for questions from audiences. However, just one cue, taking a cue from your answer and going to Ms. Roopam Jha. Ms. Roopam, would you throw some light on whether IIT Delhi has been involved with partnerships with private institutions or private universities, and what has been the experience, and has it led to some, enhancement in the R&D domain? Any examples you might have with you?
From corporate relations perspective, if this question was coming, I could have addressed that. But at institute level, I will not be able to answer this question.
Okay, fair enough. Because that point actually was quite pertinent in terms of the private and government educational systems or universities rather partnering up, and it can lead to leveraging the strengths of both the sides. So with that, I think we've discussed quite a few points here, and we are just about short of 4 minutes to finish up on our panel discussion before it opens up to the audience for their questions. Let me wind up our discussion by just going over a few points in terms of what everybody shared. Number one, Professor Dr. Batra spoke about the publications happening from their schools, and it's a fairly new department, so they are still growing, and I wish, and we all wish her department all the very best, that in the next decade or so, this department produces really good research which gets recognized on a global scale. Ms. Roopam Jha touched upon the topics of the importance of research parks and the importance that IIT Delhi gives to the incubation centers, because 800 startups worth 19 billion are huge numbers, and if this is being produced from IIT Delhi, even 1 or 2% of that, if it is achieved by the other universities or other schools, it would be a major feat that can be achieved. So the research park concept is certainly something which is a takeaway, and the 3 campuses which are coming up are certainly going to be useful for the IIT Delhi R&D ecosystem. Last but not the least, Professor Gawhane spoke a lot of points from his immense experience of more than 3 decades. It's great that the small inventions that are happening at MGM University are contributing towards the society. You very well mentioned that the faculty needs to have a research mindset, which needs to be inculcated within the faculty members, for which a lot of efforts need to be taken, because the statistics certainly do not support the R&D when it comes to India as a nation. Green initiatives are being taken by your university, which is an exemplary feat considering the area which is drought prone, if we talk from a weather perspective. And it was great to know that the entrepreneurship cell of the government of Maharashtra is being leveraged at your end at MGM University, and that's something which we could also look at, from a WPU perspective. You spoke about public and private collaboration, so I think the next step immediately could be, our university reaching out to government institutions and wanting to collaborate on certain ideas which certain faculty members might have, where a mutual interest lies between 2 faculty members. So thank you to all the panel members for a very enriching and a very very good discussion. Thank you for your thoughts, thank you for your time, and thank you for being present and being available for this great initiative which has come from MIT WPU's side. This is the second version of INCON that we are hosting, and now I would like to hand it over to Dr. Bagchi to address the questions that audience may have for specific panelists. Thank you again very much to all the panel members. Thank you.
So before Dr. Bagchi comes in, I'd just like to kind of have a quick brief to all the panelists. My sincere thanks to all of you for having participated, taken time, and participating in this very important deliberation, which we believe will have a impact across the country. This is our second session of the current year. The first one happened in Mumbai This is happening for Delhi, and we'll be going to Bangalore, and so like this, about 9 cities across India. We are
I think we lost you.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, I think he has bandwidth problems probably.
Right. So, with the panel's permission, may I pose the question? Due to paucity of time, we will be able to take just one question, which will be posed to all the panel members. So our distinguished members would be commenting one by one. This question is asked by Ms. Pia, who would like to ask that what are the pressure points in the current environment that can be tapped to catalyze a higher research and development investment by Indian companies and the government, along with building a closer connect between educational institutions and the R&D ecosystem. I would kindly request our panel members to answer this question one by one, and I would also request humbly to be precise so that we can end the session on time and begin the next on time. Over to you, our distinguished guests.
See, that's a very important question. See, you are in present times, and in present times, we have calamities, natural calamities of health emergency we are facing it. So in this given situation of crisis and the emergency, my important suggestion is that all universities in India, the government organization in India, it has proved beyond doubt that the so-called most developed health infrastructure countries have miserably failed. Our India is also part of that, no doubt about it. We are very poor. So what we can do in developing the quality health infrastructure and quality health research in India. So the vaccine is developed by the Western world, the developed countries, right? We are producing it, we are marketing it. Okay, fine. But are our universities have been successful, research institutes have been successful to create our own vaccine for such pandemics? That is one thing. So developing R&D culture in terms of health, research in health, that is one thing. Virology, immunology, that kind of thing. Number two, education. So as there was a problem of bandwidth being at cities and metros, there is a problem of bandwidth and some people cannot join our panel member. So if you see the bandwidth in the rural India, 6,46,000 villages are there, and there is no bandwidth. Students are thirsty for knowledge. They're climbing on the tree and sitting there to get the network. What kind of situation we are having? So having a bandwidth of top quality and providing solutions for these purposes is equally important. For power generation, solar power generation, lot of initiatives are required. The drone technology can be used for reaching out the medicines and other things to the remote area, remote villages. Lot of things are there which have posed the questions before us, the present times, and present times has given us the time to think and provide the solutions to the problems of our country. And I think all universities in the world are proved themselves that in a crisis, humanity, whenever the humanity faces crisis, the university system, R&D systems come forth and give solution. We should learn from them that we should also be able to provide solutions in such crises. Otherwise, I always say, if we do not protect nature, if we do not protect diversity, biodiversity, and if we do not protect Mother Earth, then we will be extincted like dinosaur. If we want to be dinosaur, it's okay, fine. You are ready to destroy yourself. If you want to preserve our humanity, then the sustainability of life crisis on the earth is a major issue. In that direction, what our universities and research institutions are doing is a big issue. And new generation has that responsibility, I personally feel.
Over to you, Dr. Batra.
Yes, this recent pandemic has, actually disturbed the existing assumptions. Several of the existing, there was a struggle and all those struggles have, all of a sudden come to an end. Students were struggling to achieve better grades and going to school, going to small children, going to tuition, going to classes, and the parents were insisting that you should learn all the things. You should learn guitar also. You should learn swimming also. You should everybody is at home. As a mother of a class 8 student, so I have also stopped all my son's classes, and the focus is on staying healthy, staying well. That is the only focus, and it has affected the markets. It has affected the academic culture, the new ways of teaching, learning. We as teachers have learned and developed. Earlier there were so many connection problems. We have learned all those things and we have overcome all those limitations. Most of the students, as far as my students are concerned, I agree that there are several students, several places in the countryside where students don't have connection, and that is why they are not able to access the education, the classes that their own institutes are not in a position to provide the hardware and software to attend classes to students, and that is why many of the on-roll students have not been able to attend classes, and the new areas, new thought process has emerged. New things need to be thought and explored. Several research opportunities are there. How a pandemic can affect the thought process of the people, their priorities, their what they think, and what they were actually struggling for, and now what are their struggles. The struggles of people have changed. The attitude towards life has changed, and yes, there are several new opportunities. Online teaching is a new opportunity area that has emerged. Then we have realized the importance of hardware and software, the limitation in terms of hardware and software. Earlier, we were used to discourage students from carrying mobile phone to colleges. And if anyone in the class is using a mobile phone, it was actually disrespectful towards the teacher. Why are you having a mobile phone? What is the need? In fact, myself, when I was a student, when I started earning, my parents said, okay, you must carry a mobile phone. Now I said, I don't need it. So now, but if you don't have a mobile phone, or if you don't have an Android phone, something which can let you connect to the world, you can't get connected. You can't attend classes, you can't attend webinars, you can't attend seminars. So the assumptions have changed. The thought process has changed. So all these things need to be understood. All these things, and probably there is a scope of research also, and how we have to come out of it, how we have to bring life back to the track. We have most of us have adjusted to this form of equilibrium, and now we have to get things back. People are waiting for vaccine, but even when the vaccine comes, how much time it takes to bring things back on track, it is difficult to predict. And this pandemic has left a long-lasting impact on the thought process, the psychology, the way things work, the struggles, the race that we were all running towards, and the destination. So all these things have changed. So all these things bring to us more research opportunities. All these things bring more research opportunities, and more opportunity for understanding the technological gap where we lack. It is very important for us to be able to provide basic education to the people who are living in the countryside, the rural world. And if they don't have the necessary equipments, they don't have the necessary connections. The students who went back at Holi, they went back to their yes, at Holi they went back to their homes, and they could not come back for 2 to 3 months. And even if they come back now to their respective hostels and colleges, what will they do? The hostels are closed. So there is a huge academic loss. From March, they went back to their hometown, and it is November. And what if they don't have the connections at their places? What if they don't have the mobile phones with them? So all this has to be done. And
yeah, we would finally like to hear a brief comment by Ms. Jha. Over to you, ma'am.
In fact, as both the panelists were saying, I would just like to add over here, like when from corporate relations perspective, when this coronavirus pandemic outbreak was there, initially we started with, for COVID-19 research projects, if I talk about, we started off with 4 to 5 projects. In 2-3 months time, we had somewhere around 45 projects, close to 60 faculties working on some or the other projects which will impact the society in whatever way it could. So, that is a great learning experience, that in the time of crisis, people can do things which is beyond their regular scope of work. So I would like to add here, like ICMR approved Pro-Free RT-PCR COVID-19 diagnostic kit, Corona Sure. This was developed by IIT Delhi, and close to 5 million high-quality PP kits were also supplied by IIT Delhi startups using the technology developed by the faculty members. Not only that, like we had NSafe, a reusable antimicrobial mask by IIT Delhi incubated startup NanoSafe Solutions. Similarly, in close to 60 faculties, from 5 to 60, we, the transition took 3-4 months time, but all seems to be coming together and working. Same with industry. Initially, when we started, there were just 2-3 people who were ready to, fund these projects. Then we had close to 10 companies who funded these. As far as what both the panelists were saying, that students are most affected, the studies are most affected. But in case you see the IIT Delhi thing here, the Dean of Student Welfare and the Dean of Corporate Relations, what we are doing is we are trying to support the students in their online learning through the device and the data net connectivity. So we are reaching out, students in fact are reaching out to us asking for the device, our data card, SIM inbuilt in that. So we have a partner over here with whom IIT Delhi has a tie-up, who happens to be the alumni of IIT Delhi only. So we are kind of sending out these devices to student tabs and all, so that their studies are not impacted. So in whatever best we could, we are doing our bit over here.
Right, absolutely, ma'am. And I think after having this amazing deliberation upon such an important topic of importance, we would like to come to the end. But before closing the session, I would like to request Mr. Praveen Patil to give his concluding remarks. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Purnima. Thank you. I would like to, on behalf of Mr. Rajiv Poddar, President IMC, and Shri Rahul Karad, Executive President of MIT World Peace University, I wish to thank all the panel members who joined us today, Dr. Sudhir Gawhane, Dr. Geetanjali Batra, Ms. Roopam Jha. Thanks for joining us in this session today. As you're aware, these sessions are being recorded, and we are in the process of creating a white paper by session, by city, and this will be consolidated, and we will be taking the recommendations, these recommendations along with IMC to the Government of India. We had the Secretary of DP from Heavy Industries Ministry who addressed the inaugural session today, and I think the government is also talking similar language, where they want to encourage research in the universities. And I think this small step that we've taken towards creating an ecosystem for all the private universities, along with the government and the industry, to encourage research will take the country places. With this, I would like to thank each one of you for being a part of this important initiative. Thanks so much. Thanks again. Bye-bye.
Thank you once again to all the panelists, all the attendees for joining us. And before closing the session, I would like to make the last announcement that our session 2 begins sharp at 2:30. Please join us for session 2, which is on the theme Industry, Academia, Knowledge Collaboration, Role of Corporates in India. Thank you once again. Take care. Stay safe.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.